Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome in. 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. Rob Breaux, David Collier, Lucas White in the building today. It is Monday, August 18th. It's game week. It's Music Monday. We'll get to recap some things that happened over the weekend. Texas Tech soccer won again. They're now 2-0. Can we just say 3-0 because that Denver game did happen? Yeah. Why is that just is it a friendly?
It's a friendly.
It a friendly?
Yeah, it's a friendly.
Scrimmage, exhibition, whatever you want to call it. But they're technically 2-0 after a San Diego State victory on Thursday. And then a Youngstown State Penguins victory last night after the rain. And I will say this, David. It should rain before every soccer game. You know why?
Why?
The photos were really cool with the feet dragging the wet grass.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have some photos of wet grass and soccer players on the website. I don't know, before this show's over. We'll see what happens during the breaks while I'm uploading.
What a tease.
We're in the First United Bank studio. Those won't be on the air, but they'll be doubleTSportsNetwork.com. Yes. You can call in on the Visual Edge IT hotline 806-771-0973. We are 12 days away from the Double T 97.3 Coors Light postgame show and kickoff of the season. We'll have Farmageddon this weekend. We'll also, and we've not talked about this really, but we'll also have Kansas football this weekend.
Who are they playing this weekend?
Not a cool opponent like Iowa State is.
Doesn't get much cooler than Matt Campbell in his hat.
Sure. Curved bill. Did you see the 18-wheeler pulling out of the Kansas State facility?
No, I did not.
So they were saying on the way to Ireland or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was the semi-truck pulling away with all the equipment. And everyone, it was like duck boats in the comments, like, oh, are we driving out of the water? It's like, why do you think you get into the airport, people? They got to load some kind of cargo plane up with all their shoulder pads. I would assume they're not driving to Ireland.
Yeah, that's true. They got to drive it to the airport to throw it on a plane.
Maybe they put it on a ferry or something.
Still got to get it to the plane, right?
Oh man, that was very funny.
Fresno State, by the way.
The amount of people that didn't understand
the joke.
Well, it wasn't a joke. It was just literally them driving to the airport.
Yeah, but I mean, if you initially,
I guess it was probably just some intern that didn't think about the impact of driving. You can also text us on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I was cracking up at those over the weekend. You can also find us on the apps brought to you by Happy State Bank or on the website, doubleTSportsNetwork.com. And you can find us on YouTube and Fox 34 News Now, that YouTube channel, youtube.com/doubleTSportsNetwork. Another episode of Red Raider Recon on the YouTube channel. We also have podcasts of every show, clips, and the infamous Ask Level podcast.
The thing still happens. I'm joking.
It is.
I see it quite a bit.
It happens every week and gets numbies, as they say.
No, without a doubt.
Big
Chris
numbies.
Level. Well, it's probably more Choice Woodman than Chris Level,
right.
But we don't like to tell Chris that.
Sure.
Or the other way around.
They're both stars. They're both...
no, without a doubt.
And I would say more than local, regional media stars.
Yes, definitely. What does that mean?
I don't know.
No.
I'm local. They're regional.
Yeah. What am I?
Well, you're on a local news station.
Yeah. I didn't say I was a star.
Is that affiliated? Are you affiliated at all?
What do you mean affiliated?
Are you in, like, Plainview or something?
Well, our television station goes a little north of Plainview and go
so you're
the same directionally east-west, and then the same way south, probably a little past La Mesa over to
that-
Seagraves.
baby.
Yeah. And sometimes our stuff airs. I mean,
the county media
in
star.
Midland, Amarillo,
There you go.
Abilene.
People know the name David Collier.
I don't throw my name out there. I'm not one of those people that will be like, welcome to the show. I'm David Collier. Just like the Open just said 5 seconds ago. In case you could remember, my name is David Collier. Let's go to another person talking that's not David Collier. Sorry, I had to get that out on a Monday.
Like
No, I don't think many people. No, I don't think many people know who David Collier is, and that's okay.
I think you're underselling yourself, David.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Everyone on the chat line, tell David that you know his name.
Bullfighter immediately. Who's the guy with Breaux today?
As much as we like recapping weekends, we also will focus on what's coming up. We've got the Big Ten and the MAC champions to pick today. We did that Friday. We have the ACC and the American.
AAC and ACC.
It's just the AC, right?
Well, I'm just going by your email just to prove that I read it. It's at AAC and ACC. What are you rolling your eyes over there for?
The
We
A's
caught him.
in the C's today. And I might go off the board.
North Texas is who he's picking.
Oh, I haven't even dug into the
You haven't
AAC.
even looked at the board yet.
Well, I looked at all the odds, but I don't know what's going to happen in the AAC. That feels like one of those conferences where it's just like, yeah.
The research I did last night about 4 or 5 teams, so maybe we won't all pick the same teams.
That one's a little bit like the Big 12 to me. I don't know that there's any conference quite like the Big 12 where there's 8 contenders. But I do feel like the AAC is the most similar. The ACC, I'm really trying to find somebody besides Clemson.
Yeah.
And I think I've found someone, but it's going to pain me to do.
I don't think I found anybody else besides. I mean, I looked through some of them, and I'll certainly give reasons why I'm not picking a couple of them, but probably going to go chalk with that one. Kind of makes sense. I think it does anyway. But by all means.
Certainly makes sense to pick Clemson in the ACC. We'll see what happens, though, when we get there. We'll do that at 10:45. Or if we forget, 11:45. But 10:45 is the scheduled time. We will do some headlines after this. The Texas Rangers played a series. The Astros played a series. We'll update those scores. The Cowboys also did something over the weekend? No? Okay, we'll skip that one.
They did something.
The Commanders play tonight.
Against Todd Brooks.
Let's have scoreboard. Discourse. Scorebug. Discourse.
I don't know if I don't know if I like it.
I've got a hot take on scorebugs. We'll do it later. 9:30. Scorebug discourse. Horse name. More after this.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Bobby Hot Dogs of the first song, Luke Bryan, says, God, that song was awful. Whoever picked that needs to be kicked in the shin.
My shins are safe for now.
Mine are too.
How big a boy are you, Bobby? Come on down. Once you know the theme, it fits really, really well. I'm going to wait a few more songs to read Bullfighter's next comment. Very astute, Bullfighter.
Yeah.
That might be the earliest.
That was pretty quick.
That'd be the earliest we've gotten it. But I'll give other people a chance to guess. But yes, Bullfighter, that is the theme, and you got it before the next couple of songs that really gave it away. Good job. Did you see the clip, or the tweet that said Robert McIntyre logging in for another near win, and then the video was just, "Hi, I'm Scotty Scheffler. Hey, what are you doing? I'm Scotty Scheffler. Hey guys, it's Scotty Scheffler here."
Did you watch any of that? I actually watched too much of that this weekend.
I watched a couple of holes. I didn't watch any Little League baseball.
Yeah, nor did I.
I watched some...
Premier League started up this past weekend, so I watched some soccer over the weekend.
Nope. I watched some NFL football, but I did not watch that. Oh, Tyler Shook, man. They're going to show that so much.
Yes.
What are you doing? And then he has... Spencer Rattler has that great throw to the corner. That's an easy choice, right? It's Spencer Rattler as the starter.
Until you say Spencer Rattler, yes, I think yes. You have to go with Spencer Rattler, one, because he has more experience.
That's the worst quarterback situation this season, the Saints. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it the worst? I'm trying to think of a worse one.
Daniel Jones and Antonio Richardson or whatever. What's his name? Richardson? Anthony Richardson, sorry.
Yeah.
But at least Daniel Jones, you've briefly seen something out of him. I mean, a handful of years ago now.
I think both of those guys have more potential than the Saints.
Yes.
But that would probably be number 31 of quarterback
I would
situations.
think so, yeah. I mean, Anthony Richardson can't separate himself from a guy that's just was shooed out of New York, and I guess they didn't want him in Minnesota as a backup, or maybe he just thought he could get a starting job somewhere. I mean, the other two have no real... Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shook, I don't think you would want as a backup on a team. I would not want either one of them as my backup quarterback.
No. I mean, this is Tavares Jackson, Sage Rosenfels type stuff from the Vikings.
Hey, Sage Rosenfels. When he was in college at Iowa State and they were beating Oklahoma and Norman, we were giving it to him on the bench before he was a starter, and he was just giving it right back to us. And it made sense because they won.
This texter asked, what was the first song? It was Luke Bryan, Rain is a Good Thing. Corn makes whiskey. Hey, let's check the calendar here, Lucas.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
It is August 18th. It's National Fajita Day.
Chicken or steak?
I usually do the combo.
That's what I do.
And if there's an option for like veggie fajitas, I might combo that with the steak or the chicken. Something about a grilled zucchini, man. Mushrooms and zucchini.
You lost me on the mushrooms.
Zooks and shrooms. It is
Horse name.
Bad Poetry Day. I took a creative writing class in college. Creative writing 1 was like creative writing, and then the second one was poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a poetry class in college. I had to write a bunch of poetry. I think it would qualify for Bad Poetry Day.
You should bring some of it up here and read it.
I don't think I have any of it, but I could write some new.
I would like the originals. I still have like movie reviews from one of my classes.
Really?
Man, you had to fill out a certain amount of, like a page. I was struggling to fill out a page there. It was pretty evident, but thankfully the person grading it enjoyed my humor.
National Ice Cream Pie Day. Pinot Noir Day. Also Never Give Up Day. You can still be a movie critic, David.
I've done that. Been there, done that.
And National Mail Order Catalog Day. We still getting those?
I think so.
We shouldn't.
Probably not.
Lucas?
Not many birthdays today, but just a few. We have Jeremy Shockey turning 45 years old today. We have Kylan Hill turning 27. Willie Cauley-Stein turning 32. Cassius Stanley turning 26. Caitlin Olsen turning 50. She was in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Coyote Ugly, a couple other movies and shows. Andy Samberg turning 47.
Your boy.
I watched The 7 Longest Days in Hell this weekend. You seen that one?
I have not seen that.
I haven't either.
Or 7 Days in Hell, whatever it is. It's the tennis mockumentary they made.
Yes, actually, I have watched part of that. Yes, I think that's a tough watch. I'm not gonna lie. That's a very tough watch.
On purpose.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then we have two individuals that would have had a birthday today to wrap it up. Patrick Swayze would have had a birthday today, and Roberto Clemente would have had a birthday today.
Favorite Swayze movie?
Point Break was a
Great movie.
question on our trivia over the weekend. And
it was.
So that's the first one that pops in the noggin. I'm sure yours was Dirty Dancing or Ghost, probably one of those two.
I've never seen either one. I probably would have gone Roadhouse, but I do like Point Break.
I like Roadhouse too.
Like Gary Busey. I finally told Gus on Friday, maybe it was Wednesday, that his young photos look like young Gary Busey.
Yeah, I would rather. That's probably more of a compliment. If you said your current photos look like current Gary Busey.
Gus has aged better than Gary Busey.
I went to an Oklahoma State football game and they put your face up on the scoreboard. I just thought it was really weird. Why do they do that, Gus? Dr. Gus? On this day in 1973, that's not. Yeah, that is right. 1973, Hank Aaron records his 1,378th extra base hit to surpass the record held by Stan Musial. 1982, Philadelphia Philly Pete Rose records his record-setting plate appearance. You want to guess how many plate appearances the record was at? I'll tell you, 13,941.
Wow.
A lot of plate appearances. Jim Kelly signs a $75 million 5-year deal back in 1986 with the Buffalo Bills. Usain Bolt wins his third straight gold medal in the 200 meters in Rio de Janeiro on this day in 2016. And in 2022, Macy Blackburn assists on Texas Tech's 2 goals in their season-opening win over Troy. Movies on this day, 1972, Deliverance, released. On this day in 2017, The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And 1995, Mortal Kombat, the first time around.
I like that movie. More after this.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
What has P. Ryan done in the NFL to...
I think the only,
I mean, he's a serviceable
one, he's
running back
been in
for
that
sure.
system, so he knows what to expect from it. He played there.
Sure.
He was there. He was on that.
Before. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was on that Super Bowl team, I'm pretty sure.
Potentially, yeah.
So that, knowing what they expect, maybe he's, I don't know what type of blocker he is. Maybe I know Taj, that's one of Taj's strong suits, but he's still a rookie. Still only played one preseason game. So the experience that P. Ryan, look, I like P. Ryan. I mean, I'm not shy about that, but at the same time, he's played a little while. Fresher legs. Eventually, by the end of the season, I'm assuming Taj Brooks probably has more pros than cons in that between those two.
I think P. Ryan will certainly have a role.
Yes.
But he's kind of carved out a role for himself. And I don't think you want to go... I mean, I think all 3 of them will be on the roster.
I would think so.
I mean, you have 3 running backs.
Yeah.
And I don't think... Like, if Chase Brown went down for some reason...
I think the 2 of them are very similar, too.
Right. If Chase Brown went down for some reason, who would be the starter? I don't know. But I think if I think it's basically Brown and Brooks are the guys that are going to be out there in regular downs, and then Pirine has his role.
Yeah. No,
I think that makes sense.
Yes. I'm not saying Taj Brooks is infinitely better than Pirine. Just to clarify. Jackson Dart has looked pretty good, though. Just switch up to a different rookie.
Oh, this texter says, sorry, Big Ten Bert, I can't sing along to the first couple of Junk songs. Well, nobody's asking you to.
You didn't like that song? Oh, wait a minute. He's the one that said let it play. Okay.
First couple.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
This would be several.
I don't know the first couple. I might not have picked those. Might have picked that one.
This texter says, zinc is the only healthy sunscreen on the market. Most sunscreens are marketed by skincare lobbyists and contain cancer-causing ingredients. Stop bashing someone for healthy living, David.
Okay, I didn't bash him for healthy living. It was more of the look.
I also have no idea if it was zinc. It might have been regular. You just didn't rub it in.
Yeah.
How about zinc?
He can look however he wants. I'm just saying it just looked. He did not look.
It was a funny
healthy.
look.
Yeah, it was a funny look. That's all. We're not getting into politics or anything like that. It's just we're just having. I didn't call him a bozo.
I bought the zinc sunscreen one time. I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I put a bunch of glob on my face. It took me 30 minutes to get it off or rub it in, whatever it was. This texter, Rob, what's going on with your chest? You sound horrible. I've had that cough laugh since, I don't know, the 5th grade. So I think we're fine. I don't know what to tell you. There was also one I couldn't figure out that had a blank in it.
Yeah.
If you want to resubmit that without...
maybe with spaces or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's do some burning questions. You want the sounder there? Burning questions?
2 minutes of non-stop in-your-face inquiries with no end in sight.
That's there.
It's time for Burning Questions.
All right, let's see. Farmageddon in Ireland this weekend, Saturday. Would you be down to have 6 home games in Lubbock, but go somewhere neutral site for a 7th game if it was a premier matchup?
As long as it wasn't
week
Houston.
0.
As long as it wasn't Houston or Dallas.
Okay, get out of the state.
Get out of the state. I get that people in Houston or Dallas would love to go watch. I totally understand that, but I've had enough of NRG Stadium.
Let's say it's like Oregon at Allegiant.
Yes. Sure. Sign me up for that.
In Vegas.
Yes. Easy to get to, though. That's part of it.
Would it matter if it was the opposite year and you only had 6 home games and you were giving up one of those?
Probably for Kirby Hocutt and all of those, yes.
Certainly.
But would I trade it for Germany?
What about an international game? Yeah.
No.
Do you want to stay in the contiguous?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Hawaii?
Only if the media gets to go. Only if the media gets to charter with the football team. I think that's only fair.
It's only fair.
Yeah. By media, I just mean one television station. Nobody else.
Yeah. Which one?
We can figure that one out.
Okay.
Haven't been to a road game in quite a few years. Might as well end that streak in Hawaii.
Lucas, would you want to open up your season? Let's say it's conference or otherwise. It's just some kind of big matchup. Like I don't know what that would be for Texas Tech. Like the Utah game or Oklahoma State or TCU or Baylor. but either internationally or in Vegas.
Yeah, I would think that'd be a lot of fun. I think more kind of along the lines with Collier being here in the States, and definitely in an NFL stadium could probably garner a lot of interest, especially if it's prime time or whatever. But yeah, I'd get along with that.
That's the key right there. I like the home games. I think it's a good idea to play 7 if you can, especially in a year where you only get 4 home Big 12 games. I think as many times as you can be in front of the home crowd is good. But Farmageddon is going to be the only football game on in America.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, because nobody can go to it.
That's college football today.
I guess most of the games here are sold out.
I bet a lot of people will be there. Just be Irish people.
Would you rather go watch that game in Ireland, or would you rather go to like the UK and watch a Premier League soccer game, or go watch Australian rules football in Australia, knowing you get a trip out of it? Would you rather just go watch a college football game that has nothing to do with your country, or maybe see what it?
Yeah, we're approaching this from 2 different things. I'm approaching it as
eyeballs. I got it.
Eyeballs, and you're if you're trying to be a national brand in today's NIL world, a game in which everyone can just watch you would be awesome and beneficial.
Why can't we just have that in the U.S. and just make it the only game on?
We can. That's what I'm saying. Week 0. I said
I'm
Vegas.
just saying, if it's in the United States, I'm cool with that.
The question was more of a Week 0 game.
You got one question, and congratulations to you.
More after this.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
This texter, 95% of Americans don't care about spare farm game in Ireland. Dude, you text in all the time. You don't like college football. I understand it. We understand it. I really appreciate your patronage, that you listen, that you text. But you need to understand that you don't like college football, and that's okay. That's something we need to learn about ourselves. You just don't like college football. And again, that's okay. I like college football. I'm going to watch Week 0. I'm going to watch all of them. I like college football. I don't need to be pampered and swaddled with the SEC and the Big Ten to make me think it's a good game. I don't need a big brand. I'm going to watch Stanford and Hawaii with as much vigor and gusto as I watch the spare farm game. And then when the world's largest outdoor cocktail party comes along, I'm going to watch that one too because I like college football. On Tuesday nights in the fall and the winter, I'm going to be watching Maction. You're going to be sitting on your porch drinking some 30-year-old scotch, and that's okay. We're different. Thank you for listening. All right, let's do some picks. We're going to go to the AAC, and we'll start with David Collier. Who's going to win this conference?
Oh, man, I forgot to pull up this information.
You thought I was going to forget again, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I forgot this time. We're even. Well, Rob, I will say I did some research last night, albeit less than your listener does for college football. I don't know that for a fact, but like you said, clearly not a big college football fan, and that's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of small college football, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Maybe partially because one of the teams from this conference beat my alma mater in a bowl game last year, and that might have something to do with it. What I did learn from my research, though, it seems like there's 4 or 5 teams that can win the American this year. Unfortunately, the ones that we want to, with ties to Lubbock, Texas, probably won't be in the running, even though somebody had North Texas and Eric Morris as a potential dark horse. It was the write-up was funny. They're going to score 35 points a game, and if they don't score 35 points, they're going to lose the game, which sounds about right for an Eric Morris, Mike Leach style offense, right?
Yes.
So as much as I would like to see that come to fruition, I'm probably going to go with a safe bet. We've talked about this a couple of times. Maybe Jeff Traylor, maybe, I don't want to say overstayed his welcome, but waited too long for another job, right?
Maybe.
Quite possibly. Maybe excuse me. Maybe they're good enough for a bounce back. I know that they've done some work in the transfer portal. I think they got a couple of running backs from USC and LSU that, you know, they could lean on there. Tulane is another school that appears to be the potential champion, but I think I'm going to go with a school that has their quarterback back from a year ago and plenty of other weapons on offense. USF rather, playing Navy and Blake Horvath for the conference championship. I think Army maybe takes a step back without, you know, somebody that's West Texas tough on the team. No, but I will go with Navy beating South Florida in the AAC championship, strictly because they beat Oklahoma last year, and Oklahoma's just a powerhouse football program, and they probably, you know, should get the just due that they deserve after beating Oklahoma in that Armed Forces Bowl or whatever it was. Give me the Navy midshipmen. Long-winded answer.
Navy. Lucas?
I as well have Navy in the championship game.
But
I do have Tulane beating Navy. This is
You went with a favorite.
a tighter conference than has been in years past. Obviously, Memphis is obviously the forefront, I believe, but Tulane, Navy, Memphis all have a chance to win this conference, but I am going to go ahead and take Tulane over Navy in the championship game.
we went all chalk in the Pac-12 since at least one person has had a different answer for a conference champion. Conference USA, everyone picked Liberty but me. The Sun Belt, we got two James Madisons, Louisiana, Texas State. In the MAC and the Big Ten, we all had different answers. And in the AAC, we're all going to have different answers too. Give me Jeff Traylor and UTSA.
There you go.
And Owen McCown, who's a quarterback there with UTSA. Let's go to the ACC. We'll go back to David Collier.
Let's bring back the chalk. How about that?
Yeah, well, probably so.
Miami, it seems like Mario Cristobal, right? Cristobal. Seems like he can't get out of his own way from time to time when it comes to coaching in very important positions.
Bit of a Mark Richt, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. And now he has Carson, speaking of Mark Richt, he has Carson Beck as his quarterback. So I'm going to say no on that group. I've continually said that, you know, the team that can pay more money probably is going to be playing for a championship. So I think SMU will be playing for a championship, but I'm going to go with the team that has 80% of their production back from last year. I'll go with the Clemson Tigers.
Lucas?
Do it. Go with Georgia Tech.
This is a three-team race, in my opinion. Obviously, it does come down to SMU, Miami, and Clemson. I do have Miami in the championship game playing against Clemson, and Clemson will win. So Clemson will be the ACC champs.
Before you make your pick, if I told you that Blake Gideon was the defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, would that make you pick Georgia Tech to win the ACC championship?
No, but I do think that Georgia Tech is very good.
I do too. I have them listed as one of my teams to talk about, but I didn't want to steal everybody's thunder.
I think they should beat Colorado week 1.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are going to beat Colorado this year.
Hopefully.
I second that.
I think Georgia Tech certainly has a shot. The odds currently have Clemson as the overwhelming favorite, Miami second, Louisville third, but it's plus 110, even minus 110 in some books for Clemson. Miami is plus 400 in most books. Louisville plus 750. SMU plus 1,000. So there's some pretty good gaps there. And then you get even further away with Georgia Tech at plus 1,400 is the best line. Most have them at plus 12 or plus 1,100. Do I get like 2 points if I go even further off the board?
Sure.
Do you mean like a point and a half?
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Go for it.
Now, some might think I'm setting up a North Carolina thing here. But there's a head coach that was the original Dorkowitz, the original. I can't even think of the other guy's name.
The Matrix.
Manny Diaz.
No.
At Duke.
No, get out of here.
I think Duke has the horses this year.
Did they have the head coach, though?
I don't know. I don't like Manny Diaz. But there was something about the way that team played last year. They went and got a quarterback. They bought the Tulane quarterback. I'm going to go with Duke to win the ACC. In football,
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It is the end of the bench. We'll continue on with the text line. We've got Major League Baseball realignment that I love. We'll talk about that at 11:30. I do want to get back to the score bug discourse. Here's my take. I don't care. If it's got the information on the screen, I don't care what it looks like. I don't understand the outrage factor with social media that everyone is oh, this looks terrible. It looks like a sixth grader did it. It's a score bug. It's got points, times, potentially timeouts left, and the down and distance. If it has all that, I don't need it to look like anything else. And I don't know why they change it every year. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Just pick one and leave it.
Just leave it the way it is.
It could be the same for 20 years. Who cares?
Part of it is they made it bigger, right?
I
You'll
think
agree the scoreboard is larger.
I like the Fox one right now. It looks good.
But it's bigger than it was.
Yes,
years
I can
past.
read it. Yeah.
And you know why it's bigger?
Because older people are watching football.
No, because it doesn't have a background, so you need to be able to read it. And it's easier to see white letters on a solid background, or at least a background that isn't a football field or white lines or whatever.
Yeah.
It's easier to see on a backdrop. And you know what they realized several years ago after having no backdrop on a scoreboard? Is it is easier to read when there's a backdrop on it, because years ago that's what scoreboards looked like, right? It was just a number floating on the screen, and then somebody was like, hey, why don't we put like a colored background on the back of it so it's easier to read? And then they were like, wow, that's a good idea. So they did that, and then they changed it every single year. And then in 2025 they decided, you know what, why did we ever have a background on this stuff? And they went backwards. I don't really care. I don't like the score bug. I'm totally fine with, because I see more of what's going on, right? Because they've made it so large. And if they had a background on it, then everybody really would complain, because you wouldn't see half of the screen. But whenever they're giving us informational stuff, like stats of the game, there needs to be a background on it, because it's always a cutaway, and it's always a tight shot of what's one color that all these teams wear in the game.
Well, the road team will wear white.
We'll wear white. So so the road team's wearing white, and they bring up a informational graphic of white font on a white uniform, and if you don't leave it up for a while, it is difficult to see. Just logistically, there's a reason there was a background for informational stats like that.
So you're out.
I like the score bug. On the rest of it, I don't like it. I also don't like because Fox has done the graphic of a player, a drawing of a player.
Yeah.
And with the other one, at least there was a bottom, and this is a little too in the weeds, there was a bottom to the graphic, so if the person was cut off, it was just part of the graphic. Right. Now, they're Tyler Bates, he's just floating with half of his body cut off, and it just looks bad to me. Do I really care? No. But I'm just playing the other side of it, and I understand why people are aggravated by it.
This texter says Collier is 100% correct.
Okay, we can stop right there.
About playing college football across the pond. There's little to no upside for the teams. It doesn't make any sense if you factor in travel time, jet lag, and cost. Isn't the game considered a conference game too? Yes. Why would any coach or AD sign up for that? Played at MetLife, Mercedes-Benz, or Vegas if you want exposure. Yeah, if college football says the first game of the college football year is going to be in Ireland, do you want to play? I think there's a lot of reasons to say yes. But I do agree the benefit of playing it in Ireland isn't that it's in Ireland. It's that it's first. And you could literally do that anywhere. You could play that game and get the same benefits at Allen in DFW.
Yes.
You could play that game in any of the towns that Choice Woodman has ever said in any show that he hosts and get those same benefits, because the benefit is millions of people will be watching it because it's the first college football game. The benefit isn't the stadium or the area. I mean, I guess the ticket sales will be low because it's not 100,000 seats, but all of the monetary benefits would remain, and then you just have, the TV numbers.
Is it a unique experience for all of the football players? Absolutely. Would the majority of those football players rather eat something in Vegas over what they're going to have to eat in Ireland? And I'm sure that they'll have catered stuff anyway. I mean, let's be honest
giving
here.
them haggis.
I know, but let's be honest here. I mean, the options are limited, right? I don't see any benefit other than the experience for the football players. And I get it. They do it for basketball, right? And maybe that's the thing. Like, oh, we want to.
They're going to the Bahamas.
Well, I'm talking about whenever, like the Lady Raiders.
Sure.
I mean, I know that's not an in-season game, but they get that. But it doesn't. It makes no sense to play a college football game in another country. I'm sorry. Seems like a waste of resources.
I'm not going to argue there. Okay. Last night on the Little League broadcast, Rob Manfred, everyone's favorite commissioner in professional sports, said, I think if we expand, it provides an opportunity for us to geographically realign. So this is Jim Bowden from The Athletic. This is his proposed realignment. Geographic realignment. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like there's an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference. So get rid of the American League and the National League. It's Eastern and Western.
Why can't you just call it American and National?
We'll start with the East. Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, Phillies in the East. The North, Reds, Guardians, Tigers, Blue Jays. The Mid-Atlantic, Orioles, Charlotte, which is an expansion team. The Pirates of Pittsburgh and the Washington Nationals. In the Southeast, the Braves, the Marlins, Nashville, which would be an expansion team, and the Rays. Okay.
All right.
Any of those whet your whistle?
That last one's probably, obviously, the first one that you mentioned seems like the powerhouse.
Yep.
Of them all.
Keep the Red Sox and the Phillies together, and then you get a bunch more Subway Series.
You got the Yankee. I mean, that seems like something that would be interesting. The Atlanta Braves one.
I mean, Orioles, Charlotte, Pirates, Nationals, Braves, Marlins, Nashville, Rays. Those are two pretty weak ones compared to the first one.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the Western Conference. The Midwest would be the Cubs, the White Sox, the Brewers, and the Twins.
Yeah.
The Southwest would be the Astros, Royals, Cardinals, Rangers.
Say that one again.
Astros, Rangers, and then Royals, Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
If it was, first of all, I'd love it just, for Clint and Chuck and the Rangers fans here. But if you flip the Brewers and the Royals, and it was Astros, Brewers, Cardinals, Rangers, and then it's two rivalries basically, and then the other two,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty fun. Rockies, A's, Mariners, Giants would be the Pacific Coast, and then the West Coast would be Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, Padres.
It doesn't make me more excited. Is that the whole point of doing it? Just to freshen it up? It would be different if, like, your Western ones never played the Eastern, but they all play each other. I mean, I get that the divisions are a little bit different. Certainly you have American and National mixed together now, but...
Yeah, everybody plays everybody at least a series, right?
Yeah. That's not significant enough to, in my opinion anyway. I still wish, I mean, in that reshuffling, you would have Houston and Texas in the same. I wish they were indifferent still. I wish it was American League, National League.
I think the benefit here would be that everything would be more local.
That's crazy.
Regional.
That's the one part that I like about it.
It's like the one sport trying to get back to regionality.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the SEC of Major League Sports.
Let's be honest. No matter where the Rays are, you're not going to be excited about them. So
put them in Orlando. More after this. 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. Yes, the theme was Farmageddon today. Farmageddon was the theme. Bullfighter got it after 2 songs. Congratulations, Bullfighter. You win nothing.
if only he could pick games
Hey-o.
like that, right?
Very excited to do the Tiny Wheel this year.
Yeah. Apparently, we can't do the lather yourself in sunscreen for an entire show.
No, we will.
As a
I think we should put that on there.
Just as a joke. We're not trying to offend anybody in their love for zinc.
Hey, the sunscreen lobbyists are gonna get on us for it.
Yeah, just for funsies. Maybe a look.
Maybe we could do white face paint and go full and just do the Bozo the Clown.
No, we're not doing clowns. You gotta do your arms too, though, but not just your face. It's gotta be your arms as well.
Did you see you as a leprechaun?
Does it look like Peter Dinklage?
Kind of. Kind of so, yeah. The NFL is adding a team across the pond, Benchwarmers. You're the new GM of that team. Which country are you picking, and what's your team name?
The NFL is adding a new team across the pond. Well, the easy one would be a leprechaun, I guess, huh? What? They're fighting Irish. I mean, come on.
Sure, yeah.
What's the wrestler that has the Glasgow kick? Who's that? We could go with Glasgow and just call him the Kicks. Isn't there somebody that has? Isn't that what's the big long? Drew
McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre. Yeah.
Is that what he calls it?
Yeah.
The Scottish Monsters.
Loch Ness.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
anything's
London,
better than like the Rain, Fire, and all of those NFL Europe names.
London's the most logical if you're actually going to add a team.
Yes.
Right, because you play in London all the time. And I would just call them the Jaguars.
That's probably what they're going to end up doing, right?
Probably so.
I hope they change the name at least. Come on.
Scotland Highlanders.
There we go.
There can only be one. See, they're remaking that.
Really?
With Henry Cavill, I think. Who's going to be the Who's going to be the older guy in that? Sean Connery in the original, yes? Highlander?
Sure.
Anyways. What would they do with the D-backs is the question on the West. It would be the Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, Padres.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then the other one would be the Rockies, Athletics, Mariners, Giants. So the A's and the Giants out of California, and then the Angels and the Dodgers and the Padres.
Dodgers? Dodgers? The Dodgers.
The Dodgers and the Padres.
I think we should change the names, too.
Oh, that's going to be on the list. The easy name would be the London Monarchs. What are they, butterflies? Moths? Yeah, I was thinking kings or queens or royalty. They could be
Royals.
purple.
They could just be the Royals.
The royal family. They could be purple and white.
They could wear like the guard, the royal guard. They could be red and with the black helmets. Right? Look like
We have a mutual colleague from the past.
We do?
That is adamant that the NFL should expand internationally and quickly. And he wants to add like 8 teams.
That's too much.
And not get rid of any. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but he does it all the time.
Is what's dumber, that or having a 28-team college football playoff that has 5 teams from the Big 12 and 7 teams from the SEC and Big 10?
Okay.
You like it?
No. I don't like it, but isn't the current one at least 20?
If you count the conference championship
Because that's
games.
what they're doing.
They're getting rid of the conference championship games.
Well, they're making them play-in games, which they already are.
Okay, then just do 20. That's enough. Do you really want 7 teams from 14 teams from the Big 10 and the SEC in the playoff?
But it's not, though.
No, but it is.
Well, then the play-in games already are play-in games. So whoever wins the Big 12 championship is going to the playoff. So is that not a playoff game?
Yes.
The only difference is in the new one that the Big 10 wants to do is that you wouldn't get like the double elimination if you're Ohio State or Texas or Georgia, because they're going to be in the playoff regardless.
Yes.
Which in that respect makes the Big 12 championship more important than the SEC or the Big 10 championship.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Or like the Mountain West, all those conference championships matter. But that's what the Big 10 and the SEC don't realize. They're cannibalizing their championship with all of these. Like, if 4 get in, who cares? That's why the SEC and the Big 10 want to do 4 games on championship weekend as play-in games, which would be 8 teams, but then 4 would move on. And then what are you doing? You getting at larges too?
Well, there were at larges in that scenario.
But if you're getting rid of conference championship games, so the at-larges would have a bye? That's what I'm saying. Just leave it at 12. It's fine.
Yes.
Figure it out.
If you want to do 16, sure. Don't go any more than 16. We don't need 7 or more teams from one conference making the playoff.
No. Nope. It's coming, though. All right, we will end it here. I don't have any more thoughts on the playoff. Did you want to close it out there?
No, I'm done with it. I'm still fine with 4, but we went past that.
I think 8 makes sense. I mean,
I'm fine with 8 as well.
Would you want to go back 28? To the BCS?
Maybe not necessarily, but I like that more than 28.
Would you rather 128 basketball teams or 32 in the tournament? If you had to go back 1 or up 1.
Back 1.
Can't keep it at 64. So you want to go 32?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we really need 100 and something teams playing?
Well, they tabled the 78, right?
Yes,
They're not going to
they
do
did.
it.
Thank goodness. Yes. Why do we need 78?
We don't.
Let's figure out the conference thing first, and then we can start working on the postseason. I think the postseasons are fine. But what do I know?
Is the Big 12 worthy enough of having their champion getting a bid to play in the playoffs? Hey, Arizona State was a wrong call away from taking Texas to the deep end of the pool. Benchwarmers RJ Ochoa on Blogging with the Boys said this weekend he's very certain that Dallas Cowboys will end up ahead of Washington at the end of the season and is not worried about them. What do y'all think? I think RJ Ochoa is smoking that good stuff. But I will say I've been on this radio station saying that Christmas Day game will be the NFC East Championship game.
Then who are you cheering for, Ron?
And that is the Cowboys and the Commanders.
Who are you cheering for in that one?
Hey, I'm a Commanders fan. What are you talking about?
What if the Cowboys win?
Be happy for my dad.
That's not going to last. He's going to have that 1 year. It's going to be like Elijah as a Toronto Raptor that 1 year that Rob was wearing his Commanders gear.
And just Smith doesn't. Is a Cardinal?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's going to be. Cowboys are back. Rob's back.
No, they're not. Yet. All right. Bottom line up next, 100.7 The Score. It is the end of the bench. That's it for us. From myself, David Collier, and Lucas White. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.